Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading up to Germany for round 12 of the 2001 Formula One season. Let's get started.
Located near the historic city of Heidelberg, the high-speed Hockenheim circuit consists of two very distinct sections. The outer section that runs through the sprawling pine forests combines huge straights with fast chicanes, whilst the technical stadium section consists almost entirely of slow corners. Originally built as a test track for Mercedes cars, this is the fastest circuit on the Formula One season.
Here we are in qualifying on our first flying lap, where we managed to set a decent pace. We complete the lap in 1:49.278, but there's still room for some improvement. And so on the second run, I managed to greatly improve my time. We crossed the line in 1:47.278, that's 2 seconds faster and my fastest of the session. That puts us in a very favorable position for the race.
Hello there. Welcome to Germany for round 12 of the 2001 FIA Formula One World Championship. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Juan Pablo Montoya just managed to get the edge over his championship rival, the BAR driver. Hakkinen second. The BAR driver put on a fantastic display throughout the qualifying hour. He starts this race from a very promising third. Schumacher fourth. Coulthard fifth. Rubens Barrichello sixth. Ralf Schumacher seventh. Kimi Raikkonen eighth. Heidfeld ninth. Heinz-Harald Frentzen 10th. Eddie Irvine 11th. Trulli 12th. Jos Verstappen 13th. Jenson Button 14th. Olivier Panis was way off the pace of his teammate. He starts in 15th. Giancarlo Fisichella 16th. Alesi 17th. Pedro de la Rosa 18th. Berti 19th. Alonso 20th. Enrique Bernaldi 21st. Marquez 22nd.
We are here on the grid for the start of the German Grand Prix. We are sitting in third, which is a rare occurrence. We are waiting for the lights to go out and we're off. We have a rather slow start, so Michael Schumacher gets in front of us. So does David Coulthard, but we'll try to retake those positions as soon as possible. Coming out of North Curve, we have a good run on Coulthard and an easy overtake. So let's see what we can do about Schumacher. We are using the slipstream of Mika Hakkinen to draw us closer. And we pass Michael Schumacher. Can we do the same with Hakkinen? I sure do hope so. Hakkinen outbrakes me into the Jim Clark chicane, but that's alright. We still have time and plenty of opportunities to overtake him. For now, let's have another look at the start. Here's a replay of the start. We're waiting for the lights to go out, and as usual, loads of wheel spin on my part. That slows us down a bit, allowing Michael Schumacher and David Coulthard to overtake us. However, as we exit turn 1, we have a brilliant run on them, and we soon regain those lost positions. We're now racing down towards the Ayrton Senna chicane. Mika Hakkinen is still in front of us, but I don't feel like pushing too hard yet. We need to make sure our brakes last until the end of the race, and there are a lot of heavy braking zones around this track. But we're now in the slipstream of Mika Hakkinen, pulling us closer and closer to the fin. And we finally overtake him. We only have Juan Pablo Montoya to deal with now, and we'll be in control of the German Grand Prix. That would be absolutely amazing. And the win would be even better, but we'll have to see how things go. But as you probably know, there's a pretty high attrition rate at this track due to the fact that it's very taxing on the engines. So we should expect quite a few retirements. But now, coming around to finish our first lap, we started in third, lost out to Michael Schumacher and David Coulthard, but we managed to overtake both of them. Then we overtook Hakkinen, and so we are now in second. So now it's time to see if we can catch Montoya and take the lead of the German Grand Prix. It would be nice. We make use of the slipstream, giving us a slight boost in speed, which is just enough to overtake Montoya. And we are now in the lead of the German Grand Prix, which is absolutely amazing. Now let's make sure we keep the lead. We are now on lap 5 and Hakkinen is having problems with his car. This highly demanding circuit is already taking its toll. So let's find out what happened, as I brake late into the Ost curve and cut the track. I'm not very happy about that, but here we have Mika Hakkinen chasing after Juan Pablo Montoya. They come into the Jim Clark chicane. All seems well at this point, but as he exits the chicane, thick black smoke starts pouring out of the rear of Hakkinen's car, and that is the end of the race for the Flying Finn. Meanwhile, I was starting to build a gap on Montoya. We are now around 4 seconds in front of him, so it seems that our Honda powered BAR is doing quite well on this track. For the time being at least. On lap 6, just as we exit Ostkurv, the engineer informs me of an incident on the track, so let's have a look. Here is Eddie Irvine leaving the pit box. He pitted rather early in my opinion, but oh well. He's now accelerating up to track speed. There goes one of the Prosts, and there comes Pedro de la Rosa, who he crashes into. Irvine should have been a bit more careful there. That was just reckless. As far as I know, the person exiting the pit is the one who has to take care and not the one who's on the track. And it kind of makes sense since the one rejoining will be slightly slower. This is lap 7 and there's yet another incident on the track. Kimi Raikkonen is now having problems with his car, so let's have a look. Here we have Kimi Raikkonen. He crashes into the rear of his teammate, then he stops his car, and Nick Heidfeld does some weird maneuver there. And there comes Frentzen, I believe. So that's one more retirement to add to the list, but almost immediately there's another incident. Hockenheim is really taking its toll today. Not the way Monaco usually does, but still. So here we have Eddie Irvine with his missing rear wing, which he only has himself to blame for. He comes into the double apex soot curve as smoke is rushing out of the rear of his car, and stops right behind Raikkonen. That's going to cause some problems, I guess. Seriously, that's a pretty bad spot to have cars on. They are very close to the racing line and it's quite easy to crash into them. Unless you're extra careful around there, at least until they're removed, which is going to take some time. On lap 8, Lacey manages to crash into Irvine's car, just as I thought it might happen. Unless the car is removed from the track, there will be accidents, especially since the AI doesn't really have a sense of self-preservation, hence the stupid amount of accidents, especially in Monaco. Anyway, here is Shauna Lacey. He is coming around to finish his lap, enters the soot curve, where he crashes into the stopped car of Eddie Irvine in a very weird fashion, since it looks like he slows down quite a bit and tries to go around, yet he still crashes into the Jaguar. And it looks like Montoya was struggling to get around Irvine's car. And here is Juan Pablo Montoya. This is around 1 minute before Lacey crashed into Irvine. This means that Montoya was just pushing the car for a whole minute. I'm sorry to say this, but that's bad AI programming even for 2003. Here we are coming around, peeling off into the pit, and we just saw Eddie Irvine's Jaguar stopped on the track, which caused so many problems for the last 2 laps or so. I slowed down a bit too early for the pit entrance, but that's okay. I'm not all that tight for time. Thanks to the Jaguar, I managed to pull away from the rest of the pack quite easily. So let's see how long the pit stop takes. We're off the Jags, fuel is still pouring in, and we're on the move once again. That took 9.5 seconds, which is okay-ish, but Michael Schumacher is having problems with his car now, as David Coulthard just took the lead from us. We should be able to take it back though since he has yet to pit. So here is the Ferrari of Michael Schumacher. He's coming around into the dreaded soot curve. Irvine's car is still there even after 3 or 4 laps. Schumacher hits the Jaguar, breaks his front wing. He's now attempting to come into the pits to get a new front wing. However, his engine gives way, so he will have to retire. And he's probably not very happy having to retire at his home Grand Prix. But such is racing, and I'm expecting a few more retirements. Coming around to finish lap 10 and start lap 11, David Coulthard is in the pit, so we regain the lead of the race. And with a bit of luck we might be able to hold on to it until the end. Just a bit later, still on lap 11, there's another incident. It seems that David Coulthard and Barrichello had an accident, so let's have a look. Here is Coulthard coming out of the pit, and it looks like it is going to be similar to the accident between the two Jaguars of Irvine and De La Rosa. Coulthard rejoins the track and pulls all the way to the left to block the Brazilian, but they make contact and they both lose wings in the process. And with that, Coulthard is out of the race. This means that most of the top drivers are out of the German Grand Prix now. Hakkinen is out, Schumacher is out, Raikkonen is out, and now Coulthard is out. Not a lot of competition left for us. We are now about to lap the arrows of Enrique Bernoldi, and Montoya is now having problems with his car. This is nuts. Seriously, this race is starting to become a bit too easy. Anyway, here is a look at Juan Pablo Montoya. He's chasing after Barrichello. As he exits the Ayrton Senna chicane, smoke starts to pour out of the Williams, and Montoya parks his car right in the middle of the track. That ought to do it. With that, we really have no competition to speak of. Well, there's Ralf Schumacher and Barrichello, but they're more than half a minute behind, so unless my brakes decide to give up, I'm pretty sure we can win this without too much of a hassle. Even if Ralf and Rubens are faster than me, there's just not enough time for them to catch up. And now, coming out of the final corner of the race, and for one last time on this track, flick the car to the right to give the team a wave. We are the first to take the checkered flag, and with this we say goodbye to a very awesome circuit. When we will return to Hockenheim next season, it will be completely rebuilt, almost to the point where you'll barely be able to say whether or not it's the same circuit at all. It's quite sad, to be honest. I really like this track, and in my opinion it was probably as unique as Monaco in some ways. And it had its own difficulties. It was very taxing on the engines and drivers alike, which led to the high attrition rate associated with this track. But all that would change for the upcoming season, thanks to one man, a man everyone loves to hate. And yes, I'm talking about none other than Hermann Tilke. Anyway, let's see the standings.
It's been a fascinating German Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the final results. The BAR driver first. Ralf Schumacher second. Heidfeld third. Jensen Button fourth. Heinz-Harald Frentzen fifth. Rubens Barrichello sixth. With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship.
David Coulthard and Michael Schumacher share first with 56 points. We move up into second with 36 points. Hakkinen is third with 29 points. Montoya is fourth with 26 points. In fifth we have Ralf Schumacher with 23 points. Sixth is held by Heidfeld with 22 points. Seventh is held by Rubens Barrichello with 14 points. Irvine is eighth with 13 points. Raikkonen is ninth with 10 points. Button holds 10th with 7 points. 11th is held by Frentzen with 6 points. And Verstappen is 12th with 4 points.
McLaren stay ahead in the Constructors' Championship, despite having their lead reduced by this result. Ferrari are second, followed by the third-placed Williams.
McLaren are still in the lead of the Constructors' Championship with 85 points. Ferrari are second with 70 points. Williams are third with 49 points. Our team stands in fourth with 36 points. Fifth is held by Sauber with 23 points. Jaguar are sixth with 13 points. Benetton are seventh with 7 points. Eighth is held by Jordan with 6 points. And in ninth we have Arrows with 4 points. In my opinion, that was a very fitting end to this particular layout of the Hockenheim ring. As you all know, starting next season it will look completely different. The stadium section is about the only part Hermann Tilke left intact. Everything else will pretty much be gone. But we'll talk more about that when the time comes. For now, let us revel in our victory, even if it's just for a short time. Our next race will be held at one of my least favorite and least successful tracks, the Hungaroring at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and I hope to see you all there. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.